beautiful case study of a fight.
I got to tell one story while we're talking about going to fights. 'Cause I just want to get one personal story on record before we go into other things. I just want to talk. It's fucking hilarious, dude. I think it was when you fought Boku. So back this story up. You were supposed to fight in China originally when you fought Boku.
The original card was supposed to be in Shanghai, yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to go corner you for that. But then they had some public holiday. They created some holiday, and the whole event got canceled. So they moved it to Singapore, which is cool because we were both here anyway.
Yeah.
And, you fought Boku, and it was a great fight. I was cornering you for the fight, and it was fucking awesome to watch. And just to be there, the energy was really cool. And then, we all go out afterwards. And it was just fucking hilarious because you didn't bring any clothes. You didn't have anything prepared. Yeah. Your fucking eyes are black. You're busted up. You're wearing like a T-shirt and your fucking your fight shorts.
Yeah.
I can see your cup.
Yeah.
Right? Like I can clearly see your little tiny skinny ass shorts. Your fucking eyes are both black and your sweat and blood like all over you. And we all go out to the bar afterwards and you come out wearing your fucking fight gear.
Yeah.
And it was just hilarious because we all took one of those party vans.
Yeah.
Remember that shit?
Yeah, I remember that.
So it was just all a crew of the old trifecta guys, like Steve was there and Ron and me and you, and we all get that ridiculous party van where the lights are flashing and the music is loud, and we go into a bar and we're just like celebrating after your fight, and you're just like fucked up, two clearly black eyes, your head's swollen, you're in little skinny shorts, you're still wearing your cup, blood and sweat on you, and I'm just like, this is fucking insane. Like people have to think you're a serial killer for going to the bar like this.
Yeah, probably, right? The funny thing, I didn't think ahead. I was just like, I'm just go to the fight and then.
After the fight, I'll just whatever.
I don't know. I didn't think about it after the fight. I guess I was just thinking like the fight, And
so you roll up into the bar looking like you got fucking assaulted.
Yeah.
And we're all just hanging out with you, and people were. I mean, it's an interesting conversation piece.
Yeah.
Because you were literally in a fight like 30 minutes before.
Yeah.
Like with a former world champion, and
Yeah. Yeah. It was a good time though.
That was a really good time. So we just got drunk, and then you went home, and that was the end of the story. But seeing you at the bar in skin tight shorts with a cup, black eyes, blood and sweat all over you, drinking beer, like smiling after a brutal fight was like awesome.
The thing is, like the fight itself, the result, whatever, Like if you put in your best effort, I feel like you did what you could do, So just enjoy it. So I was just like, remember the first thing I said to you after the fight was, "How did I get on the ground?" But then after that, I was like, "That was fucking fun." Yeah,
no, you did, 100%. Yeah. No, that's what I loved about you fighting me. You always had the right attitude because listen, man, like wins and losses in this sport, it's just they come and they go.
Yeah.
Right, but you had fun. And you weren't butthurt. Like, one of the worst things is when I did my pro debut, it was in 2011, and I fought in Trinidad. And the guy right before, and I'm nervous, right? Because it's your pro debut and everything. And I mean, I'd had amateur fights before that, but no professional. And the guy that came out before me was just like pissed. He came in like kicking shit and like freaking out and screaming. He's like, "Oh, I lost this happened, blah, 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 blah." And I was just like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, are you so emotionally connected to this? Like, you're not a world. It's just, I felt like it was a show more than anything, right? But you were completely genuine. Like, you went in there, you put it on the line, and you never know. A lot of people think, like, they have this bold confidence, like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Listen, every person who steps in there doesn't know. Every person doesn't know. Right. That potential exists to lose, and everybody knows it. Even though people like to be brash and they like to be like, "Oh, I know I'm better in every area, and I know I'm this, and I know in this." That's the ego talking. Everybody knows that there's a percentage that exists that you don't win that fight. And I just love that you wore it. You wore it with pride to the point where your balls are hanging out at the bar because you're not even fucking. You didn't even bring pants and shit. Yeah. And we're just laughing and you're having a good time. And you were like, "Dude, you literally came to me and you were like, that was fucking fun."
Yeah.
You weren't like, "Oh no, I lost. My life is over. What am I gonna do?" You were just like, you just had a scrap. Like, it was just a good scrap. And now let's go get drunk. Like, fucking, that's it.
Yeah, that's
I love that about you, man. And that's part of your character, which is so interesting.
Yeah. Good times, man. Like, I've never been the guy to like. I'm never happy because I lost, right? Sure. But I mean, the process is over. Like, no matter what, you still got better from it. Yeah. You still learned a lot from it. Like, what are people crying? I don't get it. Like, people cry and stuff over their fights and stuff. Like, bro, I've never been that guy, Like, I see. It goes back to like when we were kids. I remember like guys would cry in wrestling matches, punch the wall. I'm like, what are you punching now for?
Yeah. Like, you had your shot earlier. You missed your opportunity, bro. He was right there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Well, that brings me to what I was just going to say a second ago, which is like, that's what I see kids do.
Yeah.
And when kids do it, I tell them to not do that.
Yeah.
You know, like, because I teach kids all the time. And if a kid loses and they freak out and scream and they kick their partner in rage, or they push them, or they run off the mat crying, or I have to go talk to them and be like, listen, you can't do that. Like, it's not fair to you. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to the people watching. And you're going to be a grown-ass adult and you're going to do that? Like, I just feel like it's more of a show than even really how they feel. Like, are you that surprised? How good do you think you are? Are you so surprised that you lost a fight? Like, the potential didn't exist. I don't believe you thought you were going to win so confidently that this is your reaction. Like,
no, what it is, a lot of people go into competitive sports or even especially MMA or something like that because they're seeking out validation, right? And when they get crushed with reality, it's like tenfold as bad on them, right? Luckily for me, I think I was probably the same, but I think I'd probably like developed a little bit of confidence in myself before I had that first like crushing loss. I was like, all right, can I know who I am? I'm like, yeah, this sucks. But it would have killed me 2 years ago, but I'm all right now, you know? Yeah.
You're also the kind of guy that tends to respond to things with humor.
Yeah.
Which I think goes a long way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, if you take yourself too seriously, is anybody more insufferable than people who take themselves way too seriously?
Yeah.
It's one of the worst qualities that people have. Like, if you just can't take a joke, or you just can't accept the fact that you're not as good as you thought you were, as smart as you thought you were. It's like, dude, I fuck up all the time. When I make a huge mistake, I can just laugh. That's it. What am I gonna do? Like, beat myself up? Like, jump off a fucking building? Like,
right.
You just gotta take it on the chin and move on. And that's one thing martial arts is good for. You have that disposition about you, which is just like to deflate situations with humor, which I always appreciated about you, because the nature of our profession tends to be very serious, and it doesn't have to be that way, right? This is why I think you have a successful gym. You have a sense of humor, and even the training itself. I've been to your gym. I've watched you teach classes. I've trained with you. There's a levity and like a fun. It's fun. It's supposed to be fucking fun.
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun.
If it's not fun, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, you're coming, again, we talked earlier, you're coming in here, you're getting your ass kicked on your free time. Most people aren't professionals.
Right.
Like, 99% of people are training for a hobby. If you're taking it so seriously, it's just like, oh, God, just relax, everybody. Have fun. If it's not fun, what are you doing? You're wasting your time, you know?
Yeah, for sure.